Hi, we're going to try something new this week. Usually I do a podcast, but I figure why not add some video? So for this week's entry, a home away from home, the weekend at Niagara Falls Comic-Con, plus announcing 2 projects by Pesto Comics. First, some quick updates. Crazy Latte Thing Called Love is successfully funded. Thanks to 189 backers from all over the globe, we've had a successful crowdfunding campaign for Crazy Latte Thing Called Love. This campaign broke records for Pesto Comics. Hopefully it's the start of a trend, with 72% of those that backed being completely new to Pesto Comics. We had a pretty decent returning backer rate too, so if that holds, sky's the limit. I can't wait to show you this book when it's ready. Mattia's hard at work coloring the remaining pages. On Canada Day, July 1st, we'll have an in-depth review of the Kickstarter from top to bottom. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. It'll be very interesting whether you're launching your own campaign or just want to see how one runs. A revamp pestocomics.com. Have you checked out pestocomics.com recently? It wasn't the most thrilling site in its first iteration, so it's had a complete overhaul. This is a full-on store experience now. You can order copies of all of our back issues directly from here. Plus, you'll receive 10% off on your order. This is only valid until the next newsletter on Canada Day, July 1st, so enjoy it while you can. Big Smoke Pulp, Last Chance. I got stories to fill about 87% of this book. If you've been holding on to a piece, just giving it that one last polish, now's the time to send it, as we're closing call of entries very soon. And now some exciting announcements. The next 2 projects. You heard that right. We've got 2 new ongoing series coming this year. They're actively being worked on right now. It's still very early goings in both, but I wanted to share the titles with you so I don't have to speak in riddles about them going forward. First up, From Parts Unknown. This is a story about a brotherly tag team partnership that gets tested inside and outside the ring. Pietro and Bruno are professional wrestlers brought into a remote town where not everything is what it seems. For a show that's pretty popular, the locals reject it, and everything it brings. Once the brothers do find out who is pulling the strings, they'll quickly find out it's just a wrestling show, and getting out of the town won't be so easy. Art duties on this project are being masterfully handled by Daniel Cavall. This story of high-flying antics needed art with a kinetic energy, and Daniel's work fit the bill. He embodies that spirit, as he's already inked the entire first issue. The series will be comprised of 5 24-page full-color issues. With the pace that Daniel is able to draw, we should be able to get the full story in your hands in a matter of months. It's true, serialized storytelling here. You'll be seeing more information about this Kickstarter campaign as soon as Crazy Latte Thing Called Love is fulfilled. And the next project, Naked Kaiju Woman. This is Pesto Comics' first foray into the NSFW space with another 5-part series. We're not going for anything too gratuitous here. It's a fun concept that has a lot to say about the world we live in today and how we value women. If you read any of my work, you know I love writing strong female protagonists. In Naked Kaiju Woman, our lead Claire might be the strongest physically of all of them, but the role she's taken on as defender of the city begins to take a toll on her mental health as the prudes down below her begin to turn on her. This story was written with a now frequent collaborator in mind, Raphael Cristiani. If you enjoyed the art and stay cool, wait until you see what he's putting together here. I knew he could draw women very well, which is why I picked him, but the kaijus he's creating are some of the most inventive I've ever seen. I'm excited to show you what he's been sending me, and this time we'll be doing it all in full color. The first issue is about a third inked so far, so expect to see more about this one in the fall. Naked Kaiju Woman is a little different from Parts Unknown, as each story is entirely its own. Less serialized and more a story followed by sequels that get richer if you know what came before. And those are just 2 of the stories. Check out the 2024-2025 progress and release calendar on the Substack, and you can see that we're working on a lot more that's going to be coming after this. And that's only some of it, as there's other things that we're working on outside of Pesto Comics directly. I'll definitely be sharing that as it becomes closer to reality. And now, looking back at the weekend that was at Niagara Falls Comic-Con. Niagara Falls and Hamilton are my homes away from home. I spent the better part of 2 years all over that part of Ontario, repairing Tim Hortons menu boards and Petro-Canada gas station computers. So anytime I return, it feels like a homecoming. Not just that, but when anyone comes to visit Toronto from abroad, there's 3 things they're nearly guaranteed to do. Go to or up the CN Tower, go to a restaurant that makes the same food that they have at home. We have it all. And visit Niagara Falls. It's not even close to Toronto, but it's always part of the trip. Same goes for when Torontonians need a mini vacation that doesn't involve going up north to cottage country. Needless to say, I spent a lot of time in this city for both work and play. I was thrilled for this to be the first Comic-Con I tabled at. Friday presented us with some torrential level rains throughout the evening, and it seems like that kept most attendees away, except for the cosplayers. Though I saw all kinds of cosplayers throughout the weekend, Friday was probably 80% cosplayers to 20% in civies. It was really impressive. The person who made my day was actually dressed as Chainsaw Man. I regret not getting a photo with her. She was so patient while I tried to get my Square Reader to connect on the non-existent network coverage, and she even ran to the ATM so she could grab her copy of Unlimited Udo before she left. After a very slow evening, this absolutely made my whole day. Go support this friendly young artist on Instagram and pre-order her plushies from her Etsy store. Saturday was a lot better as things picked up with the weekend traffic. That said, it wasn't nearly as busy as I hoped. I met a few cool folks, handed out a lot of bookmarks, but had an overwhelming amount of people saying they don't read comics at all. It was discouraging to say the least. To make the most of the weekend, on Sunday, I decided to focus on networking instead. I met some great people around Artist Alley, including Carmen Peters of Waterlight Studios, Alex of Alchemist Elite Comics, and Serge Jana of The One Surge, along with getting to hang out with my now often mentioned friend Roberto Villacava and longtime film school buddy and table mate, Dana Hennessy. The weekend had its positives and negatives for sure, but I had a good time nonetheless. I'm looking forward to doing it again soon. Next show, I'll be just another attendee, but it's a big one, San Diego Comic-Con. As far as where you can find me tabling next, I'll be at VonCon August 10th, and I'll be at Hamilton Comic-Con September 21st and 22nd. You can find more information on pestocomics.com or in this post. I'm very much looking forward to doing all of it again. And that's it for this week. So let's talk about what's next. July 1st, Postmortem, Crazy Latte Thing Called Love. An in-depth look at the third Pesto Comics campaign. Plus, potential launch date announcements. And July 15th, To the Letter. How I letter comics and why it's so dang important. Plus, prepping for San Diego Comic-Con. Well, this is the first video attempt I've tried. I really appreciate it if you watched. I also appreciate it if you listened, and I really appreciate it if you bothered to read the post. I always recommend going, because I do like to post a few images and things there, but we'll see what we can throw in on the video. Maybe irrelevant this time. But I really do appreciate you checking it out at all. I really appreciate it if you want to throw up anything in the comments. Let me know how I did. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't. And yeah, we'll talk again on Canada Day, July 1st. As always, thank you so much. Have a good one.